What was that thing here? I did wear it last week.
Yep, Marty, you want to hand down the list, please? Okay, and we're live.
That's what we did too.
Want to hand that down? Hey, we're starting now. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, public, council, staff, members in the audience. Good evening. Call to order, Chisholm City Council meeting, February 8th, 2023. Susan, would you please take roll call?
Councillor Halverson.
Present.
Councillor Michael-Raha. Present. Councillor Vaughn.
Here,
Councillor Halva.
Present.
Councillor Rocky.
Here.
Mayor Lance.
Here. Council, a couple amendments or additions under consent agenda C. You have the amended minutes from the last council meeting. John Pulsich's name was left off, and Susan had added that. And the Tennyson warning for FMLA is also in front of you, and that will be added under, or just in addition to the, to go in with the policy under Stephanie. So with no other changes or additions, I would look for motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Travis.
second.
Thank you, April. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public participation. You see a lot of Ask Me shirts in the audience here, so good evening, everyone. First up is Scott. Good evening, Scott. I would just, before we start this, I would just like to let everybody know that I have a feeling that some of the comments, questions are going to be in relating to ongoing negotiations, so the council's not going to be answering any questions or engaging. And we do have 5 minutes, so we're going to try to keep that too, if you would be so kind. So.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Scott Overstar, resident of Chisholm, Minnesota since 1969, and President and Secretary Treasurer of ASME Local 536. As you have already said, we're in the middle of contract negotiations, and I can't talk about those because it's whatever of the collective bargaining. But I would like to address the city's bargaining team's attitude towards union employees. Now, I don't know if it's the entire council's attitude, but I know that part of the negotiating team for the city has shown a very dislike for union employees, at least in their attitudes. They have treated us or said words to the effect that we can be easily replaced. We should be lucky to get what we have, and a few other sort of things through the negotiating process. It's happened in the past, it'll happen in the future. It's just something that we do not take kindly to. I mean, we all work for the same group of people, taxpayers in this community. And unfortunately, sometimes being underappreciated hurts, and it really does. We do the work. You guys do all the thinking and the planning. You get all the appreciation. Somehow or another, it looks like we're always the bad guys. We ask for a little bit of money, it's wrong. We ask for a little bit of better benefits, it's wrong. It's got to stop. We've got to be equals in this world. We've got to consider ourselves equals in this world. And if we can't, it's going to be an ongoing thing. We just can't do this anymore. We just got to get together and get this done with. And I can't say it any easier or any better. None of us is perfect. And sometimes it does comes down to an adversarial, whatever. You're right, we're wrong, but we gotta meet in the middle somewhere. And it's time we got to that point. We are very, very close. We're talking 0.4% of the operating budget of the city. And if that's all it takes is a little push here and a little push there, let's get it done. That's all I ask for.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Lenny? Good evening, Lenny.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm just here to give a brief example of what the small amount of equality that we're looking for. We have received raises, but at the end of our paychecks, at the end of the pay period, the contribution towards insurance, we haven't noticed the raises on our paychecks. So I've gone back to my past paychecks, and I've got one from 2018, and I have a current one from this year, from 2023. There's $55 difference. So I appreciate the raises that we've been awarded, but without the compensation on insurance, we haven't truly seen it on our paychecks. That is just here to give a brief example of why we're looking for some equality on the insurance end of our package. So that's a brief, simple, thank you.
Thank you, Lenny.
Thank you.
Denise or Christie? Christie, good evening.
Thank you. Evening, council members. Denise is actually out. She was supposed to be here. She gave me her speech that she kind of wanted to share with everybody. So bear with me as I'm reading through her words. Good evening, City Council. For those that don't know me, I'm Christy Castneri. It actually says Denise. These are just her feelings through her 13 years that she has been with the city and been with the negotiations, a few things. She goes, I look back at past contracts and you will see there's little disparity in how ASME Union has been somewhat shortchanged as it comes to how contract negotiations have worked out for us. We are usually always the first group that settle, and it gives others heads up on what has already been given, and so it gives them a starting point to work with. In 2019, we had to question our worth. 2 employees who were once were classification 3 under our union contract were given an 8.7% increase. And that's above the job class 1 of our current contract employees. And working on it, and they're not even working under the union contract. They were also given extra vacation hours, 60 hours of vacation to use, and their cafeteria plan was bumped up to $1,000, where ours was at $900. And that's a month that goes towards our cafeteria plan. And they also got an increase of $150 single for their Viva and $300 for family. This is in turn paid for medical and full money This in turn paid for their medical in full and money that went in their Viva where ASME only partial paid health insurance into their Viva. Also with the contracts, ASME settled for 2.25% in the 3 years versus these 2 employees are 2.5 negotiating after us for the 3 years. They were also given a $1,500 bonus. By doing the math, their bonus was equal to our job class 1 increase for a whole year. Their Viva also bumped up, or our Viva bumped up that year to $950, and our cafeteria plan only went to $125 for our Viva. We employees of the city in the future and previous administrator believe that the street administrators, okay, I'm sorry, like I said, I'm just reading her words. The previous administrator, I believe, okay, the previous administrator and the street supervisor noted during our settlement that we needed to make a fair contract for ASME employees so it looked okay for future employees and family for insurance. So that's why we also negotiated this into our contract at that time. So we saved the city money all around with the ASME employees. We also help save the city money so we can make it look appealing to future employees. So all it comes down to is basically equal jobs with different benefits, different pay. We can't do much about different pay, but once does questions our worth when you see better pay for doing the same job class level as us. But when you value our health benefits and for the some employees over others, that's what chaps you. Where's the parity here? We are trusted employees to open the doors of the city hall to customers every day, to operate heavy equipment and take care of our streets and take care of our water and sewer garbage needs as customers as the city needs. These are not low-skilled jobs. Many require special licenses, others requires education. We change our schedules to make our city safe. We communicate with each other to make sure the office is covered. None of our jobs are work from home type of jobs because we have to be here on a daily basis for our city. You put your trust into all of us, but yet our worth is not the same as it seems to bend equal health care we feel is not important. Both teams were so close to the agreement benefits, and still we did not merge the two groups together. I asked myself, raise and benefits, we did not. I asked myself, who would not like the numbers but put on the table to raise increase offer the city? But with the raise and benefits, we both got a hit. The monetary raise does not mean too much in today's economy and does nothing to our paychecks. I would really like the city to look where we stand and subject to parity for our health insurance for all. We all been looked at differently, and you need to ask yourself that question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Leanne, good evening.
Hello, good to see you. I
You as well.
appreciate the council's time. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Leanne Stoll. I'm the labor representative that works for the council with this group. Mayor Lance, I believe you were in on the bargaining team last time, so good to see you and welcome to the new council members. I'm kind of at a loss of words what even more to say. I think that the membership has kind of conveyed the main points of why we came here tonight. It's because we just want to see parity on the insurance. We want the same type of increases that have been afforded to the non-union staff over the course of time. And Mayor Lance, you were in on the negotiation last time. We made a lot of headway on the insurance at that juncture, and thank you for that. But again, as Christy tried to relay through Denise, and I think Scott mentioned, and Lenny conveyed through numbers, the situation at hand is that these other groups are still excelling beyond where we're at. And everybody knows what it costs for a loaf of bread and a gallon of gas, and God forbid we start talking about the price of eggs nowadays. And so while the increases that the city is offering right now would have been wonderful 5-6 years ago, we're still just trying to maintain some sort of balance and offset this inflation that we're experiencing. And so, you know, there are people in this room that came here to support these workers. And I'm sure that you recognize a lot of these faces, because these are folks that work at the school, they're folks who work for the city, they're community members. They're not people that I hauled in on some bus from St. Paul, right? They're here because they want the council to hear what the local 536 Chisholm City bargaining team is saying. And that's, please, just meet us where we're at. We came down from where our proposals were, and we just want to reach settlement. We don't want to have to keep coming to the city council meetings or, God forbid, escalate to other, I guess, things that are afforded under state law to get an agreement. What we want is to just hope that you guys will go into closed session this evening and take what we're saying into consideration and find some money in the budget to, you know, meet us where we're at, right? And I'm hopeful that you guys can come back together with us and we can get to an agreement and be done with this. I don't think that anybody else was scheduled to speak. I hate to be the last one talking, and for those of you that have dealt with me know that I can go on and on. So I don't know if my 5 minutes are up, but again, thank you, council members, for entertaining us tonight and hearing this conversation.
Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone that came to speak. Definitely take that into consideration while we continue to work with these negotiations. So, thank you all. We'll move along into council reports. Counselor Halverson?
Good evening. I attended the MnDOT Highway 169 open house via telephone. I wasn't able to attend in person. I also attended a campground committee meeting, again over the phone. That was out of town. Also attended a virtual meeting regarding their flooding that we had last summer at Redhead and Mesabi Trail after the Memorial Day storms. That was with Mesabi Trail, St. Louis County, Pete Carroll from Bar, and we have another meeting coming up next week with IRRB and the DNR. And yesterday I also attended the Parks Trail Recreation Board meeting.
Thank you, Counselor. Any questions for Marty? Counselor Fountain, good evening.
Hey, good evening. I just want to say it's nice to see my union brothers and sisters out there, and I appreciate you guys coming down tonight. I really do. It means a lot. I attended on January 30th a campground committee meeting. We discussed future development plans and grant possibilities for the future. February is I Love to Read Month. Is our librarian out there? Oh wait, I'm here. If she's not here, so I support libraries. So go down to your local library, sign up for the winter reading program, which is Yeti to Read, and also it is Love Your Library Month. So, thank you.
Thank you, April. Any questions? Good evening, Counselor Baki.
Good evening. So just a couple things. First and foremost, I just came from a community foundation meeting, and happy to report that they've raised $265,000 or more for the David Tomasoni Memorial. That will be part of the bridge. So that very exciting update for that. And then the last thing is, of course, Sled the City, which is Polar Bear Days kick off today. You guys are all missing out on some cash bingo. Hopefully we can get you down there. But yeah, Sled the City, February 25th. The weather looks great. 10 to 4. Larry and his crew will be building our wonderful hill for us, and it's going to be a great event like it always is. So please come out and support that event like we always do. That's all I have.
Thank you, Travis. Any questions for Travis? Counselor McElraha, good evening.
Good evening. I have no report. Majority of my meetings didn't fall in the past 2 weeks, but are in the upcoming 2. So,
Excellent. Counselor Oliva, good evening.
Good evening. Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I attended the EDA meeting last Wednesday. I also attended the MnDOT meeting at Discovery Center. One of the top 3 things that when I was campaigning around was what I heard from the citizens were the drugs in our communities. So I'll be starting ride-alongs with the police officers starting next week. Lastly, I'm deeply disturbed and downright angry with the Public Land Order 7917, which allows the federal government to put a 20-year moratorium on and ban mining on 225,000 acres in a Superior National Forest. This directly affects all Iron Range cities and schools. I'm so tired of all the attacks on mining. Mining is our past and present and future up here. Until we diversify, we need to protect our way of life. Let's all remember that HIPTAC alone puts in $449 million in our local economy around here. And imagine imagine how our cities would prosper if mining was expanded. Please call your House rep, your senators, and your congressmen. Thank you.
Thank you. I agree. Any other questions or input for Counselor Oliva? Thank you, Jed. Myself, we had our fire department meeting, first Wednesday of the month, and I'd just like to say congratulations to Billy Temple. Thank you very much for 12 years of service for the community, captain on our department, and a true leader. So thank you, Billy, for everything you do. I also was at the MnDOT meeting, and for everybody who was not able to attend, know that MDOT's plan over the next 10 years, or whenever it can happen, is to put a roundabout in front of Cache Highway 67 and in front of the Discovery Center, and close down the industrial park entrance when you're coming from the west. So they said if they had the money for it, it would still be 4 years away. Job security that would be, but so if you have any input, I would suggest that you do keep your ears open, because that could not always be the best situation for us. Other than that, I also attended the EDA meeting and the planning and zoning meeting. Planning and zoning, we will have something for you hopefully at the first council meeting in March. And we also had the bid openings for our public safety building on the 26th. And that was a very interesting thing to be part of, so hopefully we'll have something on that at our next council meeting also. Other than that, if anyone has any questions for me, I would also like to say again how much we do appreciate you. I'm upset to feel that you feel unappreciated. I don't think that you would find another city council, staff, or community that stands up for its works, its public works, as much as we do. So I'm sorry if you got that feeling, but hopefully we can work on fixing everything. So above that, city ambulance director, she starts the 21st of the month. Our interim is not here. The state just came to visit us, and we had a very great inspection. Just a couple, to-dos, but a very good meeting there. Fire chief. Chris. Thank you, Chris. Police chief.
I have no report.
Thank you, Vern. Building official, Mandy. Thank you. City engineer.
No report.
Thank you, Jim. Public Works, Larry.
No report, Mayor.
In that time I didn't skip you. Bridget, Parks, Trails, Rec.
No report.
Thank you. Library supervisor is not in attendance. City attorney, Brian.
No formal report, but I am happy to field any questions if the council has any.
Thank you. I did not see Eileen in the audience. City clerk, treasurer. City administrator, Steph, good evening.
Good evening. No report tonight.
Thank you. Moving on to consent agenda, which includes a list of bills, communications, which are December 8th, 2022 HRA meeting minutes, December 15th, 2022 HRA meeting minutes, December 21st, 2022 Public Utilities Commission meeting minutes, ISD 695 Chemical Free Grad Party donation request, January 4th, 2023 Chisholm Fire Department meeting minutes, minutes of previous city council meeting, amended, January 25th, 2023, payroll and overtime. So unless anyone has any changes, I would look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. No unfinished business. We will move on to Administrator Scaba, FMLA policy. And Tennyson warning.
As you know, we're continuing to work with our HR consultant, Ravina Claxton, on updating our policies and getting everybody on the same page for city policies and procedures. This is just another one that we've been working on, is the FMLA. It's in your packet. We're just looking for approval of that policy to move forward with it.
Okay. If there aren't any questions or input, I would look for a motion to approve that policy.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Cheyenne.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Moving on to myself. So unfortunately, we have a resignation. Patrick Idy, 14 years on the Chisholm Fire Department, has decided to step away. He's done a great service for the community. It's been great having him. So thank you, Patrick, for everything you've done. So I would look for a motion to accept Patrick's letter of resignation
Send a thank you.
and send a thank you. Thank you,
Motion.
Travis.
Second.
Travis, Jed. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to
Mr. Mayor?
Councilor Baki. Yes.
Is this
That's part of the.
wrapped into the
Yep.
element? Okay.
Councilor Baki.
Okay, so just the annual request for Sled the City to, again, it's February 25th, 10 to 4, bringing it forward as a community festival, which we have done every year since we've done Sled the City. So just looking for approval to make that a community festival.
Excellent. If nobody has any other questions or concerns, I'd look for a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Second.
Thank you, April. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. At this time, we will recess into a closed session in compliance with statute 13D.05 labor agreement. We need a motion, or we just break into that?
We need a motion to recess the regular meeting and enter a closed session.
Look for a motion to recess the regular meeting into a closed session.
Motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Second?
Thank you, Marty. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you all very much. I'd ask you to clear the room. Thank you.